everyone, I'm Victoria, and today you're going to learn all about sound. With me today are my fellow colleagues, Paige and Abby. Paige, tell us a little bit about sound.
Well, Victoria, did you know that the stimulus for sound is sound waves? Three characteristics used to describe sound waves are wavelength, frequency, and amplitude. Sound waves can consist of high and low frequencies. Abby, can you tell us how sensory information gets processed and transmitted to the brain?
Sure, Paige, I would love to. Your sense of smell, taste, and vision all involve chemical reactions, but your hearing system is only based on physical movement. When something vibrates in the atmosphere, it moves the air particles around it. Those air particles carry the pulse of the vibration through the air. This creates a drop in pressure, pulling the surrounding air particles, creating another drop in pressure, which pulls in particles that are even farther out. This then causes us to hear different sounds from different vibrating objects. Victoria, would you care to explain the different parts of the ear to our fellow classmates?
Sure, Abby, I would love to. The ear plays an important role in processing sound to the brain. The pinna, the outer part of the ear, serves to catch the sound waves. Sound passes through these sections of the ear by wave of the auditory nerve. The auditory nerve creates impulses that are carried to the brain. The brain interprets sound and tells us what we are hearing. In the outer ear, sound enters the hearing system through the ear flap, travels through the ear canal, and then hits the eardrum. The middle ear contains the eardrum and three tiny bones called malleus, incus, and stapes. These bones form a small bridge that hangs across the middle ear space and vibrates when sound hits the eardrum. Lastly, the inner ear is made up of snail-shaped structure called cochlea, which is filled with fluid and lined with millions of tiny hairs.
Thanks, Victoria. That was great. Next, we'll talk about the absolute threshold for humans and how it compares to other animals. The absolute threshold of hearing is the minimum sound level of a pure tone that an average ear with normal hearing can hear with no other sound present. It relates to the sound that can just be heard by the organism. An animal that this compares to is mice. Mice have large ears in comparison to their bodies. They hear higher frequencies than humans. They do not hear the lower frequencies that we can. They communicate using high-frequency noises, some of which are inaudible by humans. Bats acquire very sensitive hearing to compensate for their lack of visual stimuli, particularly in a hunting situation and for navigation. A bat will produce a very low sound and assesses the echo when it bounces back. The type of insect and how big it is can be determined by the quality of the echo and time it takes for the echo to rebound.
Very interesting, Paige. Now I'm going to explain how hearing relates to survival and how it works with the other senses. All sensory stimulus are basically vibrations: light waves, sound waves, tactile, and chemical vibrations. Your five senses interpret the different levels of vibration into sight, hearing, touching, smelling, and tasting. Vibrations that are beyond the range of the five senses' ability to detect can be perceived directly by our consciousness. All sensory input travels through our nervous system and gets preceded by our brain and passed on to our consciousness, the higher energy aspect of our being. Since all five senses lead to feeling, the reverse is also true. Feeling will also lead to the five senses. Everything is light, everything is sound, everything is touch, everything is smell, everything is taste, and everything is feeling. Seeing is feeling, hearing is feeling, touching is feeling, smelling is feeling, tasting is feeling.
Very interesting, Abby. Thanks for that. Let's move on to some fun facts. Paige, did you know fish don't have ears, but they can hear pressure changes through ridges of their body?
Wow, that's really interesting. Abby, did you know sound travels at the speed of 1,130 feet per second, or 770 miles per hour?
Wow, Paige. Victoria, did you know that sitting in front of the speakers at a rock concert can expose you to 120 decibels, which will lead to damage if you're hearing in only 7.5 minutes?
Wow, Abby. I'll make sure to wear my earplugs next time.
Well, I think it's time to go, guys. I hope everyone learned a lot about hearing and feels much more informed now.
Bye!